Hi there, it's Petra Dieter, and welcome back to You Can Win in Life. Today, I wanted to talk to you about finding true friends. So recently, I had a day that I was feeling really down. I'm actually dealing with some pretty serious stuff. It's a campaign of abuse attack actually that I have to deal with currently, and so there was days that it felt really challenging. It felt really difficult. And so one of those days that I was feeling down, I turned up at a friend's house and we pull out the kitchen stools and we sat around the kitchen table and had food and drank wine and talked for a very long time. And we went for a walk around the city and we talk and we did yoga together. And my friend held my hands and reminded me who I was and asked me the difficult questions that I had been avoiding because I was trying to avoid the pain. And it's by the time I left, I felt that I was very much on the journey of healing. It felt so good. It's just as heartwarming and it felt just as good as when you see those movies or TV shows where people have their friends and they are there to support you when you're feeling down. And it made me realize more than ever the importance of having true friends, friends that are there to remind you how how strong you are or you could be and what your truth is, especially when you are in doubt of yourself or when you forget or when you question yourself. And friends are there to ask you the difficult questions. So it made me think about what does it take? It's so important for everyone to have true friends like that. And what does it take to have that kind of friendships? So then I thought that there are perhaps two important things in creating true friends. I think as a culture, it's a social cultural thing that when we meet someone new, we have this superficial talk, small talk about the weather, about whatever it is, oh, it's a beautiful day today, and did you see X, Y, and Z in the news? Um, but to build real friendships, we have to be able to go past that superficial small talk. And that means two things. One is that we have to be able to have the courage to be vulnerable, to put ourselves out there, to be able to share something that is beyond the small talk. It could be sharing your pain or something about your past or something about your desire or your future. And this can be a scary thing to put yourself out there because you don't know if this person is going to be accepting, if they're going to be the right person to be a good friend. So it takes courage, and vulnerability is not an easy and natural things to come. So but it definitely takes that for you to go beyond the superficial small talk, to put yourself out there. And the second thing is to ask these questions, question about values, about dreams and desire, things that are matters beyond the weather conversation. So not just putting yourself out there, but asking the question of the other person to see if they are receptive to that kind of questions, because we do have to go past that superficial talk to get to a point where we can understand if we can be true friends or not. So it definitely takes both sides. Now, I think about how when you wanted to create a meal, delicious dish, the most, perhaps one of the most important aspect of creating a good dish is the right, good, delicious ingredient. Um, before this fancy recipe for how to make a good dish, you need fresh and delicious ingredients. So the same with creating a good friendship is about finding the right person. And it doesn't matter what kind of activities or what kind of conversation you may have with someone, if they are not the right person, it will not help you to find the friendship. So, um, and to find the right person, I think the key thing is about values. Do these people share the same values with you? Do they, things that you consider to be important, do they see it the same way? That is very important, because if something you consider to be a moral value, something that is important, and yet they see it completely different, then obviously it's not going to work as a friendship. Now, the other thing, though, while it is just as important to share values, it's also very important for them to have different perspective in life than you do have. Because if you only surround yourself with people that see things the way you do, then you will never get to see the other side of things. You never see different aspect of life. So it's also important that even though they share the same values as you, it's important to surround yourself and having friends that have different way of looking at things, so that, and people that are willing to challenge you, people that would be willing to disagree with you. And it also takes courage to create friendship with people that disagree with you. So it takes, it takes courage to put yourself out there. It takes courage to ask the difficult questions. And it also takes judgment to decide if these people have the right value. And it also takes a little bit of courage to surround yourself with people that may be different than you. I would love to hear your thoughts on what it takes to find and to build true friends, um, to have true friends. And I would love to hear that, because it's such an important aspect of our life. And thank you for listening.